What is up, Wisconsin? Thank you for stopping out this evening. It is Friday, the 9th of February. Look at that. We're adding in the date in case you get lost in the hecticness of the week and aren't sure what day it is. We got you, folks. We're here to remind you of the day. It's Friday. Always like to start things out by shouting out the amazing people at Higher Love. You thought you enjoyed cannabis. Now, wait till you find your higher love. That's what I say. They make it happen. They know what's up. It's beautiful whether you're shopping in store, hitting the delivery, pickup, that kind of stuff. They don't mess around, folks. I got trying out a little syrup in the drink tonight. It's going great so far. Only about 3 sips in. Very tasty. Some blue raz syrup. Can never go wrong with blue raz. Todd, what's up? Thanks for stopping by, big guy. Again, shout out Higher Love, the exclusive UP partner of the podcast in Let's Legalize Wisconsin. Appreciate everything they do for the movement and for everyone here. Make sure you use that discount code and, don't pay for the tax. It evens it out. Get you an extra 5% off and takes care of the tax. So appreciate the guys at Higher Love and the ladies. As a reminder, please share this stream. Invite your friends. Smash that like button. Say hi. Let us know where you're from. We're all about community. If you've been around the group, you know that's what we're about. Growing, spreading the word. We're all in it together. So appreciate everybody who swung by. Hey, George. What's up, buddy? And again, a reminder, if you're rewatching this, please type replay in the comments just so we know who's watching this and when. Man, Friday. I don't know about you, but I love a Friday, especially when we're kicking it with a very passionate individual. Trying to think of how else to describe Shannon. Passionate for sure. The passionate, loud about it. Love it. You can feel the energy. I'll quit talking. Let's get her in here. Shannon.
Hello.
Thank you for stopping by on a Friday night, for being responsible and hanging out with us. Oops, camera's over there. Oh, that's weird. It's a nothingness.
Yeah.
No, thank you for stopping by. Really excited to go over a few things that you've had to deal with. Some of them, unfortunately, obviously, but I think you're also doing your best to educate people, the younger crowd, the best you can. I know it's kind of a touchy thing at times, so appreciate you being loud and proud about it. And Todd says it's a ghost cup. I agree, Todd. That's what it looked like for sure. But without further ado, Shannon, can you tell us a little bit about you and who you are? Where'd you come from and where are you going?
I'm Shannon. I am a 41-year-old single mom of 3, my oldest being 21, and then a 17 and a 16-year-old. I smoked pot as a kid, got pregnant with my son and wanted to be that normal mom. And anybody that knows me well enough knows that I'm far from being the normal mom.
Hey, that is a good thing, just so you know. In this case.
I always tell my kids that a weird mom builds character. So they have the weird mom for sure. So when my son was 15, actually, he started getting into a lot of trouble. He was smoking pot. I didn't really care too much until he started doing more and more things that got him deeper and deeper into trouble. Me and Oconto County and the Pulaski Police Department became real best friends because they were at my house on a regular basis. My son actually ended up having to wear an ankle monitor for a hot minute. Not something that we're proud of, not something that I wanted to happen in my life, just what it was dealt out to be. He spent time in jail, different things, was out on a VIP type of kid probation type of thing through Oconto County. The social worker that he had at the time thought it was a great idea that we should give him a little bit of freedom and let him go to homecoming and a party then afterwards. And as a mom, as a dad, those instincts go off. This is not good. This is not good at all. And it wasn't, because my daughters ended up finding their brother dead essentially in our front yard. They watched an ambulance come and get him. Life changed. And at that point, I needed to fight the alcohol demon rather than the marijuana demon, which I never really fought with him. But at that point in time, being that he had a social worker and an ankle monitor, everything that wasn't a soda can was a demon. And at that point, that's when I decided that if he wanted to smoke pot, then he was smoking pot. And my son is now 21. He's an amazing young man, sells campers for a living. So I can't be any more proud of him for turning life around, and still an avid smoker. He is definitely behind this 100%. Told him that I was going to be on this tonight, and he definitely pulled the "Mom, you're a teacher about to talk about pot. Do you think that's the smartest thing in the world?"
Hey, it's I give you kudos. I give you credit. I know it's a tough spot, and I know that as far as where my advocacy has grown, I feel like I would do the same thing in the spot, and I could see where most people would be like, "What are you doing?" But I think it's time that it's not this voodoo thing that just can't be talked about anymore. It's been long enough, and perhaps that's part of the issue is they've been doing a good job of silencing us. So
Right,
we need to
right.
kind of get against it. I do have real quick because that's an amazing story as far as overcoming. And again, that's really all we can do in this life is it's not. I feel like things aren't getting any easier in any aspect of life compared to maybe how they were a few years ago or long before that. As far as nothing's really simple anymore, I feel like.
No,
So I feel like it is a lot of trial and error, and unfortunately, it sounds like you had some really close calls. And that's where though you stepping up to the plate to be like, hey, I get it. The kids are going to be into something, but realizing like, okay, it's not socially accepted by everybody, but I know that cannabis is safer for my son, and that is my opinion, and I'm in charge here. Um, that speaks volumes, I think, to the mother. Excuse me, the mothering abilities and capability. I mean, that's all you can do these days. It's life is crazy.
without a doubt, without a doubt. And to get that phone call of your child was on a harder drug or even alcohol, and now you have to go identify that body. Instead, I'm going to sit in with my kid and I'm going to smoke a bowl with him, and he's going to veg out. He's going to play some Xbox. He's going to whatever. I don't have to identify him.
Sure. Nope, I agree with that 100%. And I think it's neat too in that. Wait a second. Are you wearing a San Francisco hoodie?
You know it. I was waiting for it.
Okay, I'm the real deal over here, and then we got whatever that is over there. Did not plan that. We gotta see you later. No, I'm just kidding. I love it. We'll let it slide. Could you talk a little bit about what you see in differences, I guess, when you were dealing with the younger folks, as far as, it sounds like your son had a safe space and using cannabis at the house. What was it like if he had friends, or was it him and some friends, but just even him, what was the difference in him using cannabis and him with alcohol? Were you able to notice some of that?
Well, it's funny that you asked that, because as all of this progressed on in life, and he started admitting to me the different things that he had tried during this process. And honestly, yes, some days he'd come home and I couldn't tell you who that kid was. Like, it was to the point of where I loaded the girls up and we went on a girls' day, and he just did him at home. Sometimes he didn't come home, and there are a handful of his buddies that I'm still really good friends with that were at my side when I said, "Hey, I don't know where he is." And it was, "No worries, Mama Shannon. We've got this." And within sometimes 30 minutes, they would find him. And sometimes those pictures were scary. Granted, yeah, they were just permanent markers sharpied onto him, but what got him to that point? Because I knew him well enough. I know my son well enough to know that he was never letting anybody come into his room to sharpie him. So what had he taken? What was he on? And that he didn't, I mean, yay, he didn't come home and he was safe somewhere, but not.
Yeah.
And those, you know, those were scary. The girls could see differences. You know, my kids are very close. And when they can tell you that their brother is not normal than his typical normal, you know something's up other than weed. When he was on the cannabis, when he was on, you know, whatever, he was mellow. He ate the munchies out of the pantry. Rough.
Right. Actually, so I had a few run-ins with alcohol, and one of the bigger whoopsies was figured out I was good at chugging beer and thought that would equate to being able to chug Jack Daniels.
Oh yeah, the typical I can do this, so I can do this, so I can do that.
And I'm not gonna lie, it was a party like with folks from a different school, so I didn't really know anybody except for the buddy I went with. And people were chugging beer or whatever, and I'm just like, fuck it, we're just gonna get right to it. You know, skipping the beer, we'll show them what's up. I don't know, like, I'm not trying to, like, I'm better than everybody, but I was definitely like, well, I can hang with you guys, watch this. And I just remember, and it was like, I'm so don't know alcohol. It was the big bottle, the big sucker, and it was like a third of the way full, and somehow thought there would be no repercussions. And that was the night that my two buddies had to drag me to the car. I don't remember anything. They got to my driveway. My mom and dad had to come out. And it was definitely a blackout. Woke up terrible. It was an eye opener, and an unfortunate thing too, because that's just not really talked about with alcohol as far as, I don't know. It wasn't a concern. There was nothing I had really heard of even as a thing. So it
Right.
was kind of new to me. And I don't know. For some reason, you just think when you see people socially using alcohol, at least for me, it was like, oh, well, this is cool. And if I have a lot, I'll just be really cool. So, you know,
Right. Right.
so I can definitely relate to that because, like you were saying, when it comes to cannabis use, that definitely changed me because it was a lot less feeling like crap, a lot less getting loud and rowdy and going to these parties. It was a lot more just hanging out at home, playing some video games, having some buddies over. And then the best part, though, and you brought up the munchies, we have what was called a secret room in the basement, and I usually hung out in the basement. And it was basically just a pantry in its own little closet. And it was funny. Well, looking back, it's kind of funny. I remember the day my parents found out I smoked, and my mom was like, well, no wonder you eat so much so late at night. I'm like, really? You couldn't figure it out? But no. But again, that was the only indicator that otherwise, there wasn't this indication of, oh my God, he's on cannabis. It's terrible. Look at it. He can't think anymore. Like, kind of like the stereotypical naysayers or whatever, that it's, the devil's lettuce.
Right. Well,
So,
and being like, I was a kid of trauma, because everybody's got to have a rhyme and a reason for things. So, I was a kid of trauma. I had divorced parents. There was domestic abuse in the house. I was raped as a child. I was raped as an adult, and that's how I have my son. So I've been, diagnosed with depression, PTSD, all of those things. And I was on numerous antidepressants, anti-anxieties. Enter being a single mom at 19 on top of that from rape. Oh my God, what was I going to do in life? And at that point I was still smoking pot, and I got off of it. And that's when I started getting pushed onto the antidepressants, the anti-anxieties, so you don't hurt yourself and you don't hurt your baby. And at first you were like, why would I hurt my baby? Why would I hurt myself? But as life continued to progress, and being that single mom, it was like, oh my God, you're right. I need these meds to feel right. I'm gonna hurt myself, or I'm gonna hurt my son, and then I ended up with my daughters, and still yet at that point, I was still just on my antidepressants, anti-anxiety. I got married to the guy that I thought was going to be my soulmate, my best friend, my forever. And that didn't turn out. I ended up getting divorced. And I was broken, like completely broken. And again, here are more pills. As things got to be the way they were then with my son, you know what? I'm over this. I'm over the pills. I'm over being your guinea pig, your lab rat to find out what's going to work, what's going to keep me level. I'm going to smoke. I'm going to eat a gummy. I'm going to, whatever. And I'm going to take control of my life. And that's where I am. Like, yes, I have moments. We all do. We're not all perfect. We all have our down moments. But in those down moments, I smoke a bowl or I eat an edible and I smash a bag of Kit Kats. Shit, now I regret smashing that bag of Kit Kats. That becomes my first world problem.
Sure. Well, and that's the thing too, like, because I've had similar situations as far as just some tougher spots in life. Not that, I'm not comparing my level of toughness to yours or any means like that, but
No.
just coming into or getting into situations and knowing like, okay, this is not just, oh, it's going to be fine, Bob, and then so you seek help and um, then these medications that can basically change who you are 24/7 are acceptable. And like, don't get me wrong, I'm sure there's something that we could all learn from, whether it be seeking counseling, that kind of stuff. I don't think counseling is bad for anybody, but I know it kind of has a stigma of people feeling like what it. But regardless, if you're looking to help yourself and you know that there's something that just helps you relax, I feel like that's what most people use it recreationally, or what I would like to still call is adult responsible use. Because again, if you take care of your stuff during the day and you got your bills paid and all that, and then all you want to do is have a couple hours smoking, what are we talking, maybe 2 hours, 2 hours of just chilling,
Yeah.
and you've got something that helps you do it. And it's not like we're again mixing up acid and cooking
Right.
up and
Right.
distilling and all this craziness. It's crazy. Real quick, kind of transitioning. What as far as so you're in the schools? Do you do with like high school? High
Nope.
school age?
I do elementary. I love the littles.
Yeah. Okay. And is there? I'm sure. Do they don't talk about cannabis or alcohol at that age level? I would
I'll tell
assume.
you what, let me tell you some things that you hear out of kids. Like I just said today to some of the teachers, I don't know why we don't cash in on some of the things that these kids say because we'd be millionaires. We actually had a little guy today who wanted a snack, but said to the teacher, can I get a cig? And we all just kind of stopped.
What?
And it was like, uh, yeah, you let it go because if you call attention to it, then it becomes a whole nother level. But you know, it, the things kids are seeing now, unfortunately, and even the things that kids are hearing now, uh, you'd be surprised what a first grader can tell me about what the election's going to look like.
Oh God.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah. So, like you hear those things, but you know, you're I don't that's the best part about this. Like you add now teacher to this level or para to this level and oh my God, you're a teacher that's in an elementary building with 4K and kindergarten and all these littles and you are a pro pot. You do it yourself. Listen, I don't get up and get higher than a kite before I go to work. I get up in the morning and I function like a normal human, as everybody would like to term that. I get up, I make my lunch, I get my kids up and ready for school, I get them to school, I get myself to work, I go through my day. And my day is here, there, and everywhere. Sometimes our days are great. Our kids are easy peasy. Some days I'm a punching bag. I'm a chewing toy. Whatever. So I come home and I eat a gummy and I chill. I relax. And being that kid's punching bag or his chewing toy, it's not that they're looking to hurt me. These kids trust me. I am their safe zone.
Right.
So when you get looked at as a, oh my God, you pro cannabis and you use it. Yeah. And your kid loves me.
It doesn't wreck you. It doesn't
Right.
it
Right.
doesn't make you a zombie. It doesn't
No,
leave you hungover. It doesn't leave you
no,
incapable of doing
no.
your job.
Right. Like I don't go to my car and get my flask on lunch because I'm about to go postal or something. No, I take my lunch break. I have a conversation with people and I move on with life. I come home. I do what I need to do. I got termed the other day at school. All the other coworkers tell me that I make bougie dinners. And
Whoa. Well, how do we get what are we talking here? What's a
like
bougie dinner?
so a bougie dinner, like the other night I made homemade mashed potatoes with cream cheese and heavy whipping cream, and then I made pork loins that were bathed in rosemary and lemon. I shredded that up a little bit, put that over the potatoes, but then I made a roasted jalapeno country gravy, and that went over the top.
All right, that's bougie. I want to try that though. We need to have a get together. You can bring that to no, you can't bring food into Lebowski Fest. Damn it.
Damn it. No, like people will tell you, like I legit, like on my Facebook page, like I have a whole album designated to food porn because that's what we do. Like my youngest is going to be joining the Navy to go for culinary. She wants to be a personal chef. But she's also hoping that eventually this all gets legalized because she would love to be a infused chef and do things that route.
Those are popping up more and more. And actually, when I was at Higher Love earlier today, they had a cannabis infused olive oil. That was pretty neat. Could you imagine? Oh no, that'd be terrible. If like spaghetti was infused or something, like no, that's not good. What would be a good infused meal? It's gotta be kind of lightweight because you gotta have room when you get the munchies. I'm thinking maybe like
my little chef is over here listening to you describe this, and she is legit mouthing to me, oh, I could totally make spaghetti with like she's
not spaghetti though, because then I'll be stuck and I'll be needing more. You know, that spaghetti I get so full. Maybe like a small portion of mac and cheese. That might be good. A little starter mac and cheese.
Ooh, a mac and cheese.
Yeah. And get like a jalapeno something mac and cheese.
A jalapeno popper mac and cheese.
Oh, okay. Now we're going. Like Max has that. Have you ever tried that?
Yes.
Max jalapeno popper. Oh yeah.
Yes. And the other thing that Grace is really good at doing too is desserts. So like an infused desserts. See, and she comes up with some things. Bob, when we have a get together, I'll have to have her make you her creamy jalapeno avocado wontons with hot honey.
What are you doing later tonight? I'll swing over. I'll send an Uber if I can't drive. I'll send an Uber. Hey, can you DoorDash, but just go pick something up for me? Oh man, that's cool though. And that's what's neat too is and when we talk about infusing it, I don't think we're talking about, hey, let's put 500 milligrams in it. Like, I think it'd just be cool to have a light dosage just to take that edge off and have a little chill. Like, that's cool.
Absolutely.
Do you have much, or where was I going with this? Hang on. My notes, my drink is kicking in a little bit, so we're about to really get going here. Can lead to safer enough. Just wanted to get a little bit of your take on economic impact of legalization, and what your thoughts are on that. Do you hear anything about a lot of people driving out of state spending a lot of money?
I was going to make a really bad reference, but I figured I better not.
Yeah, good call.
Some people are probably watching this from work, so try to keep it as, safe. Yeah. Do you change your socks daily? That's where I'll go.
Well, and it's just kind of crazy because like we're talking about it, like just one of the aspects of it would be what people are taught in school, and something I was just talking to somebody about was the fact that it feels like cannabis was just erased. Because I swear every time, and it wasn't often, but when we read something in high school in history, it was marijuana,
Yeah.
marijuana,
Yeah.
and
Dun dun dun.
like you look back in like when there was old newspaper clippings and it was always hemp and cannabis, and then it just this flip switched where it became this bad thing.
Right,
um
right.
and it's just, again, we're kind of just hitting one of the avenues, but I think we're both aware there's so many more. I guess other than what you've seen it do hands on with like your son, what other benefits do you think you could see of legalization and in the avenues that it could possibly bring? Obviously, infused foods as restaurants, that'd be cool.
Yeah, without a doubt. Um, Honestly, I feel it could benefit in a lot of different ways. Uh, I know one of our followers, Maddie. He is a
Oh,
proof right there of what life can be like on this side of things. Me not wanting to be on, all the big farm drugs, getting off of it that way. The thing about it is we do research every day on how many things, how to cure cancer, how to cure AIDS, all those things. What if we started doing our research to find out if maybe a little bit of CBD or something to that effect would help a child better with ADHD or ADD versus, again, big farm. I know when my son, when we went into the doctor and they tested him and he was positive, they took him off of his Vyvanse, made it very clear that if we were going to choose to let him do marijuana, he wasn't getting his meds. I liked him better off of the meds than on the meds, so I feel research in with kids so that these kids can, be a teacher and watch a kid crawl out of their skin in the middle of class because they're undiagnosed. They didn't get their med that day. How simple something could be where, you know, uh, I mean, we have tinctures now, but we don't use them, on things we don't know.
almost anything.
Right. So let's do that research and let's we're not going to shut big farm down, but let's push them a little further out and legalize something that's natural, that was given to us.
Well, and like, and again, I'm sure there is. I'm not saying there's not, but just thinking of the amount of people I know that CBD helps with, I haven't heard of anyone who had. And again, I know there's somebody. I'm not saying it's completely perfect and it's not for everybody, but I feel like I haven't heard any horror stories about people who tried CBD,
Right.
or or even people who it did help. I don't hear of people who can't get off of it, or it's really weird when we think about the it's essentially products, the pills, the medications that are out there that have all these crazy issues, but it's just the person messed up. It's not the pill's fault, but when it comes
Right.
to cannabis, it's cannabis's fault that
Right. Like,
I said I was gonna go an episode without getting worked up, but damn it, I just did a little bit. So we're just
come
gonna
on,
keep
we know
going.
you better than that.
That's true. That's true. But it's just so annoying. Like, what more do they want to know? What more could we show them? Um, One thing, real quick, when we were talking about the economic benefits,
Yeah.
let's see the let's put a question out to the group. How many jobs do you think that the Michigan's cannabis industry had last year? How many jobs? This is a ball. This is says. Oh yeah. How many jobs do you think Michigan's cannabis industry boasted last year in Michigan alone? Let's see who gets closest. Goofy, it is. Todd, it is over 3,000, so you're technically correct, but it's not close. Much more than 500. Chantel. Oh, what's up, Chantel? Thanks for stopping out. She's been around here a long time as well. Todd, yeah. Barbie. Whoa, we got the regulars out here. Jill, Todd, Buddha. It is more than that, Jill. Oh, it's more than that, Jill. It is more than 10,000. 10,000 is the closest so far. Becky's the closest at 20,000. It is more than 20,000. Keep her going, ladies and gentlemen. We're getting closer. Oh, Kim. Phew. Sniper, 35,000 jobs. That is correct. I mean, obviously, that's the number they gave, but I'm guessing it's like 34,900.
Damn. Yeah.
35,000 jobs. And imagine I got to work in a dispensary and people would show up and enjoy their job. Like, there's not much I feel like that people are super passionate about for jobs, but I feel like when I was in the cannabis industry, whether I was meeting with a distributor, I was meeting with the manufacturer, a grower, somebody who was an educational and good bud tender, people are passionate about it. So I feel like now, not all 35,000 love their jobs. I get that. But I'm just saying, I feel like there'd be plenty of people. And what I did was I took a pay cut. I started working at Ford and took a significant pay cut because I wanted to enjoy my job. So I think 35,000 jobs, but again, I think those are jobs that would be in higher demand. You know, I feel like working at a dispensary as opposed to an other retail job. I feel like for me, that would be a little higher up on the totem pole. So,
right.
It's
I
just
would
really
totally quit being in the school world to be a bud tender.
right. It's just
like, don't get me wrong. I love my job. I love my kids, but deuces.
fair. Well, and that's the thing. You're helping people with a natural substance. And again, you see it time and time again. And it's not going to change everybody's life and be a miracle drug, but it has a lot of
Right.
potential that is just untested and unknown. And again, that's because they shut down the testing on it. That's not
Well,
like
you know, and that's the other crazy thing about this, like with what they shut down and what they pretend to not know. Look at how long Washington, Colorado have been legalized. The fact that you can go into one of their dispensaries and you can get a gummy that's designed specifically for knee pain. Knee pain, like clearly we've broken it down enough in 2 other states, and here we are just hanging out.
yeah, it's interesting for sure. The good news is, especially with what we've started here, just starting to get the voices together. FYI, little squirrel moment here, but I'm just thinking about where this started, where it's currently at. Planning events is that should be a full-time job because this is just kind of crazy trying to figure out a concert and trying to figure out Lebowski Fest. I think we're going to stick a little more to looking for events that we can kind of hop on with. I'm really looking forward to the event, but man, it's some stressful shit, folks. If anybody, I wouldn't even ask anybody to do it for free to help. So just if you got events going on, let us know because like I even know I got you to reach out to Shannon, but like with everything else, it's just goose trabaja.
Didn't they ever teach you the term micromanage?
Yeah, but like it's all this weird. I don't know. Just you see events, let us know. We want to be a part of it. Or if you can
For real, we totally want to be a part of this.
yes. Because like I know you being a advocacy coordinator, and it's still trying to figure out my main thing right now is making sure I'm prepared to somehow do a podcast in a senator's office next week, which I think I got the camera, I got these portable microphones. I'm sure we'll go to set it up. Something's not going to work because that's just how that goes.
You got this. Don't be negative.
No, I know. But we are doing a great job with where we were at when we started, which was just this, hey, maybe. And if we didn't have the following and the people behind us, when I first was emailing senators and stuff, very few would say anything even back. But then when it clicked for me, like, well, wait a second, let them know who you represent, who's with you. So then I'm like, hey, it's 15,000 of us. Well, guess what? Now all the emails are starting to get responses. And so again, it is all of us. And just really appreciate everybody that's been a part of this. We just packed the orders came in for the latest orders. So those will be going out tomorrow. Also check this out. These are going to be at Lebowski Fest.
Got them done.
Yep, I did. And look at Christian from Wisconsin Roots helped out. He made these.
Oh,
They're actually like he printed that on there somehow. I don't know. It's pretty dope.
love
So
it.
yeah, so those will be
Do
all
I
about
get one of those in my package too?
maybe for you because I don't have a ton, but if you bring me some steak, lobster, cinnamon roll, whatever you were talking about, let's go. Maybe that's what we need to do. Not just infused, but like just some crazy, like a cinnamon roll steak. Let's try it. Maybe
I
it'll
mean,
work.
don't tempt me, Bobby. Don't tempt me.
Oh, Kim got her email. Awesome. Strength in numbers. Exactly. Let's keep it up,
Yeah.
guys. We are making noise. Do not we don't know what we're doing, but we're getting noticed. So
Right,
we're
right.
just
And the
uniting.
best part is everybody is so different. It's so great to
Yep.
see all the different people that are part of this teacher world, all the different mechanical worlds, different things like that. It's great to have different people. You're not just looked
Just
at
one
as
group of
right stoners. Oh, look, it's just a bunch of hippie stoners. No, we're more than that.
Oh yeah. Well, that's the cool thing. So Hank, I don't know if we're gonna hotbox the Capitol. That one, I don't know. I'm starting to like know some of the people there, so I don't want to like have to go see them and then they're yelling at me. But I do think that obviously it's kind of tougher in the winter, but come when it's nicer out, I'm definitely looking forward to some peaceful
Wait, did you just say
gathering.
winter?
Well, it don't feel
Did
like
you
it.
get winter? Because I don't think we did.
Hey, if this was winter, I wouldn't mind it for a little bit here.
Yeah.
After that week where it was like negative 48, I could use a break. That was ridiculous. Walk outside, you just can't feel your face. Like, this is cool.
Yeah, just everybody. But I can get on my snowmobile and I can go.
Fair. So yeah, definitely looking forward to some stuff in the spring where we don't have to put together a whole big event. We can just kind of meet in public. So that'll be really neat.
We
Hell
can have
yeah.
a picnic.
Yeah, there you go. I still think barns, and I'm hoping Ashley with DNA Hemp is serious. It sounds like they're getting a barn fixed up, and where you see like weddings, that it would be like some sessions. That'd be dope. I think that'd be a huge thing. I could see that taking the state over.
Hell yeah.
Have you heard what do we got here? Excuse me. Yikes.
Hey, I'm an ordained minister too. We can have cannabis barn weddings.
Ooh, that would be a hit. I guarantee you that'd be a hit. We should do that.
I'm
Where
in.
like you exchange your vows, but you gotta be high first, just so you're
Right.
We really
The
want to
unity,
hear.
instead of the unity candle, we got a unity
Yeah,
joint.
there you go. I think that would work. And that way too, like your in-laws, they got to smoke twice as much or put gummies in their stuff, something like that.
Right.
Have you noticed anything as far as the public opinion shifting on cannabis consumption over the last couple of years? I mean, obviously there's still a lot of naysayers, but just have you noticed?
Well, I'll tell you, I have my legalize it pot shirt that I like to wear everywhere and anywhere because I'm loud and proud about it. And I get people that will be like, you walk past them and they got that face like, oh my God, she's a stoner. Like, stop and have a conversation with me because we're going to have a conversation.
Right.
But I have those conversations regularly, and it's so crazy to have a conversation with people who think it's the devil's lettuce. Like, can we get past this, guys? Like,
Yeah.
because it's not. But I feel like some people that you have those conversations with, you're getting through to them. Like something's clicking. Like, oh yeah, it was okay at some point, and somewhere we decided it wasn't. And then they get on that boat. I've had conversations with people who say, hey, it's not for me, but I'll stand behind you and I'll go to war with you because I know that it is a medicine. It's not a drug. So you still see, I think, that 50-50 balance, but slowly but surely, you're right. Strength in numbers, we're turning people around.
Yeah, I definitely feel like it started to real quick. Kim says, I feel the people who don't want to understand will never will, but those are few and far between now. Most people want natural options. I feel like there's, and again, kind of the cool, well, not kind of the really neat part about this, like Let's Legalize Wisconsin and all of us is there's so many different avenues that we're not quite there yet, but I feel like there's going to be a time once it gets even a little, at least for me, it feels like, and maybe it's just because my perception has changed to I completely don't give a shit anymore as far as if people look at me weird or whatever, because I 100% believe they are just uneducated on the topic, and that's not
Yep.
saying they're stupid. Again, just like some people are born to vote one way and they don't even realize it till one day all of a sudden it's like, well, wait a second, and then they can, like, it's
Light
just,
bulb.
yeah, right. So I feel like it's gotten somewhat better, but I'm also a lot more vocal about it, and not, obviously I don't get drug tested or anything. That'd be kind of crazy if I drug tested myself. I should, just to make sure the shit's working and it's not laced. No, that's terrible. That's why we have legit dispensaries out there. Ignorant. There you go. I like that. It's ignorance, but sometimes they're ignorant on acts, or, again, if they were raised that way, it's not even their fault. I feel like ignorance a little kind of like slap you in the face. You're ignorant. So I don't know that I always use that word, because the people who are open to listening are not ignorant. And I think those are starting to get a little more. I think it has a lot to do with the fact that it's becoming a lot more legalized everywhere except for here.
Right.
And just, I think once some of these studies, you've already seen some of the studies, but like people saying that car crashes go up once cannabis is legalized, but then studies are saying that that's not the case, and underage use goes down once it's legalized. Like, again, we should be starting to get enough data from these other states to start rolling this out, but there's going to be a point where, like, hey, Shannon, hopefully we got a group of teachers, or hey, Maddie, we got a group of recovering folks. Like, that's what's really neat about this diverse group we have of people. And the day's going to come, and hopefully we get a chance to talk to people at the Capitol or something, because there's a lot of misinformation, and we all together have a lot of information and firsthand stories to share. So again, we got to keep.
It doesn't help when you have senators who want to write things like marijuana and meth are the same thing. You have people that are so stuck on believing what a representative is telling them that they see that kind of headline or that kind of verbiage, and a senator said it or whatever said it, and that's the Bible truth. And we have to get those people to understand too that anybody can say anything and publish it. You just have to be able to see through it and know what's real or fake.
Yeah, that's a good point. And I still think we're going to be uncovering something here over the coming weeks once we get some politicians on, because I was really surprised at, my assumption was just like the Voss bill, that's what the Republicans all would think is a good idea. And it's like, what's wrong with these people? But when they tell me, I think it's a terrible bill, I don't support it. That's where it's like, hey, I'm not going to get caught up in the middle playing some politics. If you don't mind coming on the podcast, oh yeah, I'll come on the podcast. So I'm really hoping we get that chance to hear some of these folks' takes on it, because something's not adding up, and that's what we're here to do.
A real live answer would provide a whole lot more everything versus a headline or a snippet of a story.
Sure. Oh, and last podcast I shared, so my lobbying license went through, which is awesome, because it was really nice when I got to fill it out, because you only get a certain amount of time to talk to politicians, and so you got to get a lobbying license. Didn't know that. Thankfully, I got a heads up on that, because obviously that's all we need is not to be following the rules, and now I can't talk to politicians. So got that, but then also registered and got approved for a lobbying principal. So we went with the Cannabis Council of Wisconsin. And what's neat about that is I can have other lobbyists registered under there, so other people who want to go to the Capitol and talk. And when there's a bill about cannabis or hemp, we get to vote on it as a principal, obviously. So it doesn't count towards if the bill passes or not, but it will show everyone there in the Capitol who's paying attention looks at what these places are voting. And now if you're trying to push cannabis, and the Cannabis Council of Wisconsin, which represents a large group of people, is voting no, in theory, the way it would be set up is hopefully I get do enough due diligence at the Capitol that people realize who we are, what we represent, that if they see we vote no, they're going to be reaching out to say, hey, we wanted your support. What's going on? Da, 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 da. Now, is that going to be how it works, I don't know. But just the thought of we might be able to start doing something, because again, one of the biggest things at the Capitol is, so the aides are who I talk to while I'm waiting to talk to the politician, and the aides are just like, when they see let's legalize Wisconsin, they're like, hey, can I ask you? And no one's ever come here to talk to us about cannabis. That just blows my mind that there's not some kind of an
because
effort.
everybody just said no, it's not allowed, and okay, it's not allowed, and we just continued on with life.
Right. So we're gonna do this. We're gonna figure it out. I'll do whatever it takes.
Yeah.
Because like right now, the cool thing is, especially with the Higher Love partnership, and we got a couple other partners coming on board with the movement as far as sponsors go and everything, that being able to do this, but then also during the day to be doing kind of the legwork for the people. I know most of you guys, your job does drug test, or you don't have time to drive to the Capitol. Like I'm dedicated to doing whatever it takes to figure it out, because it's just, when something makes this much sense to me, I just can't be like, oh, they don't agree. Well, they're in control. They're the power people. Like, I've just always struggled with certain things that I can believe that much, which it ain't a ton, because a lot of things that I believe could go, some people might not share that belief. But again, not seeing any main downside to cannabis legalization is just, I think it'll be good to do this until we get to where we need to go. But I'm really thinking, with the noise and with there actually is a pill bill out right now, and people having to actually run for office again at the MAPS things happen, like I'm really hoping we're not that far away from seeing the light. So we got to keep at it. What does this say? Wasn't it Nixon that federally illegalized marijuana? I believe you are correct.
I was going to say, I think that, yeah.
Let's see what we had here. So, what do we got for questions for Shannon? I think we got to get a couple comments.
I was going to say, right? Somebody's got to have something out there.
Yeah, let's open the floor. Let's keep it legit. Let's not be asking about 49ers and who's going to win and all this shit. Damn, the best team in the league is taking a break this weekend. Okay.
We're
rested up for next year. Yep.
Gotcha. I will say this: as a young team, you guys did great. You made it to where you were, but
don't just stop right there. Just
my coach is hotter. My quarterback's hotter.
I've lost all respect for you.
That was definitely a conversation today at school too, is who had the hotter coach.
Jesus. Todd would like to know, how long have you been teaching?
So originally I actually started out doing work in the group home field. I was taking care of physically and mentally disabled adults. I've been in this world for a hot minute, like since I was 16. So I've been doing this for a while. It wasn't until actually everything went down with my son that an opening opened up, and I needed to be more at home than at work, because that's what I did in the group homes. I lived at work and visited home. So there's a part of me that takes fault in what happened with him, because I spent more time at work. But when that opening came, I jumped on it. So that was 2017, 2018-ish.
Okay. So you've been in it for a little bit. I like that. Have you always been in the elementary level?
For the most part, I did high school for 1 year. High school kids are assholes. I don't know if I'm supposed to say that or not, but like, I mean, I legit have high school kids. So like, high school kids are jerks, like for real. Like they're not trainable anymore. Like we've totally lost them.
Right. All hope is lost. When you were in high school, did you hear anything about like, was there cannabis use that you're aware of as far as kids? Or
well, okay, so like, I don't know if I should be like proud of this or patting my own back, but like Miss Shannon was the cool teacher. Like the kids loved Miss Shannon. I see kids out and about all over the place that the minute they recognize Miss Shannon, like I'm getting hugs and high fives and I hear stories. So when I got to the high school level, because I had kids in the high school, I knew majority of the building as it was. But I'd have kids come up to me and they'd be like, Miss Shannon, I got this cart from so-and-so, and this is what it kind of looks like. And I'd be like, kid, stop buying carts off the damn street.
Right. Yeah, that's not...
Or you get these kids that'll come through and you can tell they're higher than a kite. Like, honestly, why you're even in this building, I don't know. And I've pulled them aside and listen, take your bloodshot ass home and keep it there. Function like a kid in this building. You need to get a diploma so that you're a functioning member of society.
Sure.
So should I have done it that way? Should I have done something different? Yeah, maybe, whatever. But those kids trusted me. And 9 times out of 10, they wouldn't come back to school high. They wouldn't come back to school with the cart.
Well, I think the fact, it kind of goes back to when legalization happens. I think that the underage will go down because when you stop telling someone they can't do something,
right.
I feel like I don't think there's ever been a time anyone's ever told me, hey, don't do that. That I'm just like, oh, okay. Like, it's just...
It's like putting a piece of chocolate cake on the table and saying, don't touch it. Yeah. I'm licking that thing. I'm fingering that thing. I'm eating that. Absolutely. So yeah, don't tell me I can't.
Right. So I think if you take that approach, which again, not legal advice, not whatever, but just talking real life situations and how it really is. I feel like if you're able to say, hey, try be, not just, hey, stop doing that, but saying, hey, you need to be responsible, because again, I think you could probably tell somebody, I don't know if you did a study, how many times you'd have to tell somebody not to do something until they would actually listen.
Right.
Or if you'd have to do, is it an average of a 4-hour presentation, or, you know what I mean? Like, you don't, as somebody in the school, I don't feel like you'd have enough time to say, hey, sit down and have a hard time. Here's why you can't do that. Okay. Because like, so I feel like you being real, I think there's certain people that are definitely going to appreciate that, because especially like you said, at that age, their mind's made up. It's not, I don't feel like there's many kids who come in and it's just their first day and they're probably not going to use it again. Like, you can kind of catch a vibe after a couple of days, like, okay, this is just part of it. So,
right.
Kim says it's forbidden fruit, right? That's about it.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Todd says, I can't say, okay, we definitely don't recommend this one, Todd. But he says, I can't say anything because I soaked you in brandy and went to school. Holy smokes.
In fairness, Todd, I went to high school that had girls that soaked their tampons in vodka and then up that direction. And,
that was a thumbs down. I was giving him a thumbs up. What's up, Bubba? Sorry. I didn't mean to distract you. I forgot you can see me too.
Yeah, I'm like, why are you thumbs down in this poor guy?
I meant to give him a thumbs up. What's up, Bubba? Wow, my thumbs up looks stupid. I'm not going to do that again. What the hell was that? What were we talking about? I'm sorry.
Tampon soaked in vodka.
Oh, God. Gotta go.
That's why you're thumbs down. You were so caught off. No.
Next topic.
Let's not do that.
Next topic. Okay. Way too much. Bubba. You're not a thumbs down guy. Bubba's a thumbs up guy.
That's my kid's nickname, Bubba.
That was my nickname growing up for a hot minute. Actually, my sister got me a couple cool things that say Bubba that I still like to keep around to remind me of that. So, I thought I had another question. What did I come into, says Bubba. It's called a shit show. Welcome.
Yeah. The highest shit show in the world.
Yeah, there you go. Right? We're at the top of the top, the creme de la creme. I had thought of something here. Have you heard anything about, I'm just curious, have you heard anything about, I feel like I've heard a couple people mention a study, and I should look into this, about brain development until 25 in cannabis use?
Okay, so in the special ed world, we're hearing brain study this, brain study that, all these different things. I mean, at this point, we need to do more look into that. I mean, what is happening? What isn't happening? Is it a hereditary thing? Is it a, like you have fetal alcohol syndrome? Is that happening? Do we see that in mothers? Is that such a thing type of thing? Does it delay brain development? Firsthand, like I said, my kid sells campers now, so I mean, he could honestly, and I give my dad credit for this quote, and this is such a our family quote. We are such good salespeople that like we could sell a lady wearing white gloves a ketchup popsicle.
There you go.
So if brain development happened or whatever, he's still selling ketchup popsicles.
There you go. Okay, that's fair. Now you threw me off with the ketchup popsicles. I definitely would not. I don't like ketchup. I like well, I don't use ketchup too often anymore.
The only condiment that there ever should be is mayo. Ask anybody that knows me well enough. Mayo is it. Take your ketchup and...
If I had to choose one, it would be mustard 100%. There's so many different kinds of mustard.
Wait. Like regular mustard or like
no, all of it.
Mustard?
All of it. I like horseradish mustard on my brat. I like honey mustard with my pretzels. Just give me all the mustards.
Fair enough.
Oh, Bubba. I ain't even going to push that comment. That's gross. For 2 seconds, you get... Oh, dude, that's gross. Not even going to say that. Melinda says mustard. Thank you, Melinda. Melinda gets a thumbs up. Why is
are you sure it's a thumbs up?
I don't even know, bro. Oh, I do have that. I never realized that. I never seen my thumb. Jesus. Let's do a little out there question. Let's think of something. We're gonna think of a deep question here. Let's say that let's say cannabis could get legalized, but we had to delete a whole entire one of the following food categories.
Oh, come on. Don't do this to me.
Mexican, Italian. We'll go a little... What else do we need in there? Ooh, Jamaican. Gotta have Jamaican in there. So Italian. Oh, man, I can't remember what I said already.
Here, I'll give them.
Okay.
Mexican, Italian, Chinese.
Oh, okay. Chinese. Oh, God. I'd probably have to suffer. I'd let Italian go because I'd figure out a way to Mexicanize that shit and call it Mexican spaghetti. I would just throw a little extra tapatio. I love tapatio in my spaghetti, so yeah, I can deal with that.
Oh, you've never had a spaghetti taco?
No. Oh my God, that could be a store in itself.
What, dude? Yeah. Taco spaghetti.
Really? I'd try it.
Honestly.
Okay. Yes. You guys are all getting rid of Mexican? Barbie and Kim?
Why? I want to know why. Like,
well, wait, why? I could be misinterpreting the comment. I'll be completely honest. I don't know what they just said Mexican, but then Chris said Mexican homemade and put a heart face. So I don't think he's getting rid of it.
He's keeping Mexican, clearly.
Okay. Yeah.
I want to know what's good about the Mexican he has.
Yeah, let's hear it, Chris. What do you do with yours?
Why is yours so hard-faced? I need to know. What do we need to trade here, man?
Also, Tapatio is the best hot sauce ever, and I will fight anybody who says anything differently. Tapatio for life. I would get Tapatio tattooed on my arm. I love Tapatio.
I'm good.
You don't like Tapatio?
I'm a green sauce girl.
You look like a green sauce girl. I'm just kidding. I don't even know what that means. I have literally never liked tacos my entire life. What? Kim, I think you just broke the internet. I think we're disconnecting as we speak.
Wow.
The power grid is shutting down. Teslas are shaking. Right. Everything is happening. What? I've never heard anybody who doesn't like tacos. And
wait, why? Like hard shell, soft shell, you're an equal opportunity hater of tacos? Like,
that is bizarre to me.
My brain just kind of
like tacos is, so if you're going to meet somebody, well, thank God I never have to go on a date again, but a business meeting, faculty meeting, I feel like the one safe food is tacos. So but not if Kim's there. If Kim's there, we gotta check with Kim.
Legit. I just had I went on a first date with this really great guy. possibly is still watching this. Maybe he's watching this. But our first date was to this amazing Mexican restaurant in Shannon. Oh,
What's it called?
El Jefe.
Oh, I've heard of that. I think
It's in the fourth season. Oh my God. Amazing. So good.
Cholula. Cholula's good, but it's not got enough kick, man. I got to dump like the whole bottle to get it to like Tapatio. I can still, in an adequate dosing, still get to a point where like, but usually it's not that hot. You know what I mean? Like I've never had Tapatio where I overdid it and I couldn't eat it hot. Like that's what I think I love about Tapatio.
Do you ever steer away from your Tapatio? Like, do you try other things? Are you?
I used to, but now it's because I use so much hot sauce. We get the Tapatio in a bottle like this. And then my wife helps me refill because I make a mess for the little ones. God bless her soul. Hi, honey.
Yeah, right.
Hey, she's on the comments tonight. Let's get a little shout out to Liza. Thank you, Liza. Can we get a thank you, Liza, from a couple folks?
Ooh, thank you, Liza. Woo!
Thank you, Liza.
And for the wifey.
Hi. She doesn't look too amused.
You know what she's saying right now? You're getting off this podcast later, and I'm gonna hurt you.
Right.
We are wrestling.
Bubba says, okay, I'm going to get high. This is giving me the munchies. Sounds good, Bubba. Appreciate you stopping by. Thank you. Oh, we got a couple thank yous in there. Let's go. Thanks, guys. Appreciate that. But no, I think we are all on the right track. I think.
I just saw the El Tequila comment.
Is that out by you?
That it, well, and for somebody to know what El Tequila is, yay. El Tequila and El Jefes are owned by the same gentleman.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah. So either place, like El Jefes is more of a Mexican fusion. So it's a little more like badassy-ish. And then like El Tequila is like some straight up amazing giant margaritas, and you taco haters get a taco.
If you're in Green Bay, I still think the best Mexican place is Los Magais. As far as that authentic, never had an issue, friendly staff, just very nice.
They got one in Pulaski, so they ain't far from us either.
Have you got to try it yet?
Yes. Well, because like that's the closest between here and there. Yeah.
Have you tried? Okay, I'm telling you, Los Magais. Anybody listening, if you go to Los Magais and you order chicken ACP and you do not like it, I will refund you your money, and I just trust you'll be telling me the truth. No, it was funny because I found. Oh, I shouldn't put this on the record. So this was a past life guy I knew. It wasn't me. I would never do this. When Groupons first came out, I had gotten a Groupon to Los Magais. So I went to Los Magais. This is when you didn't even have a Groupon on your phone yet. You printed the thing out. So I printed it out and I showed it to the guy, and then he just read it and it said 20. I bought a $20 gift certificate for $10. I show it to the guy and he looks at it and he goes, okay. And he hands it back to me. And I'm like, maybe he didn't understand, but he comes back and he took $20 off. So I was like, sweet. So I didn't know for sure how Groupons work, to be fair, but I thought it was a little weird, but I still had the thing. So when I went back the next time, I was like, oh yeah, here you go. And he looks at it. The guy looks at it. Okay. And then he goes and takes $20 off, and I got the thing back. So that might be kind of how I got to really like Los Magais, as far as, I had them like 2 or 3 times a week for a while there. But I had definitely felt like I've given them their money back with the amount of support. They literally are now there's one 5 blocks from my house. So we made up for it because I brought them to the neighborhood somehow. I feel like
those guys are moving. Like, they got the one in Pulaski, they got one in O'Connell. Like,
I just saw there's one in Manitowoc, one in New London. That's awesome. But seriously, chicken ACP, and all it is chicken, rice, that white, the white cheese sauce, and onions. Oh, so I had started going there a lot, and my dad's buddy is one of the most pickiest guys you know. And I forget what I was talking about, and then I said something about Los Magais, and I didn't think he would ever touch Mexican food. He's just so very vanilla. And he goes, oh, you like that place? I was like, yeah, I love that place. And he goes, have you tried the chicken ACP? And I was just flabbergasted. I'm like, you eat there? He's like, well, I get the chicken ACP there when I go with my wife. And I was like, and he's like, no, it's really good. And I just found it really hard to believe that he found something there he liked, and then when I tried it, that's been my go-to for.
Okay, but fair enough, Bobby. Like, it sounds like that's like basic white girl chicken and rice with cheese over the top. Like,
No,
it's like
not how these guys do it though. You get the homemade hot sauce, so that's the one place I don't mess with Tapatio. Their hot sauce is hot though. If you get the hot sauce, be careful. If you burn your nostrils, it's not my fault. I warned you because they didn't warn me the first time I got their homemade hot sauce. That's the only gripe I've ever had with them. And so I thought it was like Tapatio. Like, well, that's what most places are. They have their own hot sauce. So I'm like, whoa. And then I remember the first bite, but I was so hungry I had to eat the rest of it. Like, you can't take out hot sauce. So I burned through it once, and I only used like maybe a half of it. You're a bad man. Don, you got to support me a little more. Jennifer, what's up, Jennifer? Hello. Boy, it's hopping in here. That's good. So we were just talking about Mexican food wait, did we ever figure out what food we're getting rid of?
Oh, no. Well, no, everybody said they're keeping Mexican. It's what you're getting rid of. So you're getting rid of Chinese, you're getting rid of Mexican, or you're getting rid of Italian.
Yeah, and I can, like I said, Italian. I'll just make spicy Italian and call it Mexican. That's how I would work it.
No, I feel like I would probably get rid of Chinese because, like, if you keep Italian, you can kind of play with that because, like, it has noodles and chicken and all that stuff. And Mexican, like, you can't mess with Mexican. They're just you really can't.
Okay, this is not my answer, but Chris's comment made me realize I probably should just share a little something with you guys. Oh man, I'm gonna fumble this really bad, but here we go. Ready? I think the problem we have here is China. We need to get rid of the Chinese food. Everything else is gonna be huge. It's gonna be great. The biggest portions you've ever seen. It's gonna be fine if we let the Chinese food go back to China, and we will focus on the Mexicans' food of choice. And then we're going to worry about everything. But we've got the greatest stuff you've ever seen, folks. You're going to want to come check this out. Oh, my God.
On record. That was great.
Thank you. I can't believe I just did that. I hope you're watching, Ma. I love you. She always makes fun of me when I do my little voices and stuff. But it gets her going. That's got my vote. They cook. What about American fast food? Yeah, let's get rid of that.
I mean, listen, here. You want to talk about American fast food? You know what American fast food I would bring back when I have the munchies?
Real quick, Dustin is a Niners fan, so that is a thumbs down. Get out of here, Dustin. You're lucky you're a cool dude. You just like
You like a great team, Dustin. That's right.
We should have cooked you. We were cooking you guys.
Ooh. Crap.
There's only one answer to this as well. Jill says, "Let's go Vikings."
Not everybody can be right, Jill.
Jill, I still really appreciate you, but we're just going to pretend you didn't say that. That is the only fan base I have a problem with still. Like, I've gotten over a lot of my, like, oh, my team is the best and your team is terrible. But the Vikings, I just cannot stand. Vikings. Because you guys haven't won anything, but you always act like you're better than us. And I just don't believe it. So, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Oh, Chris is a Lions fan. My wife is a Lions fan and Packers fan now. Honorable mention, he says. I thought the Lions were going to beat the Niners too, it looked like. But that's why you play all four quarters, because you could have a good team, but it's like winning the sprint and not the race. So I'm not trying to discredit the Niners at all, because it only gets tougher to score more points as the game goes on. So it's they've got something. So
absolutely.
Jill says it's okay, Bobby. Cool. No Packers, the ones. What? No Packers, the ones. Anyone know what that means?
Chris better lay off a little bit when you're typing.
Oh, I think he was saying honorable mention. What? No Packers. I don't know. Anyways, Kim says Packers all day. Let's get it, Kim. That's right. We don't need none of this. San Fran named after some gold mining. What? We packed meat, dude, and we're proud of that. That sounds terrible. No, that's what do they call it? A cap moment? Yeah, that's a cap. That was a cap. I'm gonna cap it. We're gonna cap that one right out of here. Shit. Oh, Chris says Packers are his team. Okay.
Gotcha.
That's okay. I wasn't a Love fan, but he grew in me. Whoa!
Way to go, buddy.
That's a cap moment. That's a cap moment. That's a typo. Oh my God. Dustin, let's go. Go Pack Go in 25. Yes, sir. Well, and the reason being is so that it can be a frustrating thing, but it's also a good problem. But the Packers are always in it. So I can't hate on. I don't know how they do it with the quarterbacks. I had a good feeling about Love. And it, like towards the end of the season, especially, it looks like he could really be special. And I love that he's so humble and about the team. As far as like if they lose, he's still positive. If that's an incomplete pass, like I didn't really have a problem with Rodgers when he'd be like shaking his head and stuff because I hadn't seen what I feel like this positive vibe can do when you see Jordan Love out there. So,
but do you think Love is going to turn into Rodgers, into Favre? Because I feel like all those guys were kind of humbled like that too, and then like, boom, it was their team. Like they became the only thing that was worth anything.
I don't think so. Just as far as well, I can see where you're saying that kind of with Favre, but I think really at the end there, I think the media, because we wanted to know what he was doing, but like now hearing like Tom Brady, knowing that you could retire as the greatest 5 years earlier, but you just hear some of these guys and what actually happens when they quit playing football. Like that is your daily life. So
Right.
I don't envy that looking back at it now, but at the time it was super annoying because I remember, I think it was 7 years before he retired, if I remember correctly. I remember they wheeled in a cart to the lunchroom at school because Favre was having a press conference and they thought he was going to retire and he didn't. So it was just interesting that happened for that long. But I feel like Favre always had fun. Rodgers would have fun, but he would also.
Yes, Jill, you're not wrong. It's a man thing.
Yeah, right. Sorry about that. Hey, I always thought about having a sports podcast, so we're testing it out here. I think we should switch this for a while. No,
and there go all our viewers.
Yeah, right. No, that was when they saw San Francisco over here. Why did I say that so weird? San Francisco. You don't know? What's your problem? My wife's got a problem with me. Must have been something I said. How far away are you? I might need to use your driveway. Bring the camper. I don't have a camper, but I'll find one on Craigslist on the way. Tell you what.
I got one. It's parked. You just crawl into her. Call it a day.
There you go. What else we got for questions, guys? Let's keep having.
I have an answer to my favorite strain.
Oh yeah, what you got?
Mafia Funeral.
Ooh, I think I've tried that one. Where'd you get it from? I feel like I saw that not too long ago. Oh, never mind. We don't talk about that out loud. There's a place up north that I feel like carried that.
There is a place up north that carried that, and it's like that's one of my go-tos that has that because they have that. Okay. So yeah, but fair. That by far. But I'm definitely all aboard of trying out like all different strains. Pineapple Express, that's a close second.
Ooh, that's always a good time. Let's see if you can guess mine, and I'll give you one hint, folks. Well, if you already been here and you heard it, don't answer because that's cheating. But my favorite strain is also my idol. I'm going to hook that soundboard up. And I'm not lying. I got one. I just dread hooking up anything electronic anymore. I used to be the IT wannabe guru kid, but I know this is going to take me a solid 6 hours to hook back up because I switched computers.
Is there a strain like R2D2? Because at this point, that's where we're at with you.
What?
Your computer stuff over there.
Oh, shut up. Well, you said I was too sporty, so I went to the other extreme. I went to like the dorky.
Like we go from one extreme to the next.
No, it would be Jack Herrera is my favorite strain. And Jack was an awesome man. Shout out to Jackie boy. Actually, I had found out my buddy met his son. And it sounds like has his contact info. So I'm hoping someday in Wisconsin we could get Danny Boy stop out. I just feel like with what Jack was able to accomplish. I guess even just the thought of his son being able to just like, hey, keep it up, like that would just be crazy cool.
For real.
Super awesome situation there. But yeah, Jack always worked the best for me as far as my daytime use and or if I still want to do something, be creative. And then Northern Lights is my go-to if I'm looking to
Oh, I am definitely a Northern Lights girl. Yeah.
and it just goes back to that was the in college thing. That was the first time I heard of a strain name. Before that, I just smoked whatever I could get, and then I remember kids were talking about we were adults talking about Northern Lights, and I'm like, hey, you can't see the Northern Lights in Wisconsin. And they're like, no, not that fucking Northern Lights, you idiot. I'm smoking Northern Lights. And I'm like, what the hell? That's when I learned what indica was too, because I was like, what is this shit, dude? Like, I'm fucking tired.
And it's so funny when you talk to people like the older generations. Like I think of my uncle, who like the greatest guy in the world. And to reference what he looks like, Willie Nelson, for real. And he's like that old. He is definitely the old hippie. But it's funny, like when we smoke with him, because like they just broke it down and stuffed it in, where like we got all these fancy grinders and, all these tools, and we clean things with our tools and stuff. And just listening to him talk about it and sit with us, like, you pull out your grinder and you pack the bowl and stuff. And just to watch him watch us, like, it's probably one of my favorite things to do when we're all together.
That's awesome. I could totally see that too, as far as like a time change shift. Like, what are these people doing? Just like a cordless phone to some people,
Right.
Well, now I'm dating myself. I feel like there's not many people listening to this that had to plug a freaking phone into the wall. But
or had to carry a cell phone in a bag.
Oh yeah, the bag phones. That was interesting. I remember when it was like phone calls were like 10 cents a minute. We were on vacation. I really wanted to talk to my grandma. And my mom was like, we can't afford the minutes. But then I remembered I had a quarter, and I remember giving her the quarter, and I think that kind of got to her, and she let me call her. So shout out mom for that. That wasn't the bag phone. That was the family cell phone, though. Shit, there was something else we were just talking about. Bag phones, technology,
strains.
Oh, Willie Nelson. When I was at Higher Love today, I saw they had gotten Willie Nelson's a couple of his strains in. So I'll let you know how I think it's Lilac Diesel. I'll let you know how that is. It looked awesome.
Shut the front door.
Yeah.
You have Lilac Diesel?
Yeah. Well, I mean, not in Green Bay. That'd be illegal.
Right, but somebody that's got Lilac Diesel.
Yes. They keep it in a safe place in Michigan. How old are you, Bobby? Said Jill. I am 34 at last check. Yes, 34.
I am not 34.
With the way my knees have been lately, I feel like I'm going on a lot more, but we're doing.
I have learned though in the past couple of months that I apparently don't look my age either. I've been told that I look anywhere between 28 and 35. I definitely don't feel I do, but yay, go me.
Oh, Jennifer got to try it. Let's go, Jed. I'll let you know what I think. But yeah, the way it looked and the terpene profile, definitely looking forward to that. They had a couple deals going too. Oh, and I picked up the bags today for Lebowski Fest.
Yay!
Super stoked about that. Gonna have some goodies in there. Shout out to Higher Love for sponsoring tickets for $5 a pop. Right. Very cool. And it sounds like they would even let us go into tomorrow. I'm hoping 53 in May. Let's go, Todd. 53. Took me a second. I thought of the year, or not the year. I'm sorry. I don't know what the fuck I thought of, to be honest with you, Todd. I forgot already, but I'm trying to keep up with comments. But as this drink is settling in,
ET phone home.
Yeah. You are 3 years younger than me. So Jill would be 37 because I can do math. Higher Love, my first shop, the best. Let's go. Love to hear that. They definitely are educated, clean, feel.
Do they give teacher discounts? Teachers love discounts.
I believe so. I know they do medical and tribal. Oh, and I found out if you're on here and if you have cancer, they don't advertise this, but I did verify with the manager there today. It was a 30 to 40% discount on RSO if you are a cancer patient.
Oh,
which is way cool. So,
shout out to Higher Love. That is awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. So make sure if you are that you let them know on your next visit. And again, if you haven't found RSO, that is probably the closest thing, my understanding, to getting all the benefits of the plant. Because when you do an edible, most edibles are just THC. RSO has all the other good cannabinoids in there too. Your CBD, your CBG. RSO is awesome, but it's very potent. When it says use like a mini rice serving the size of a little piece of rice, they're not kidding. Be very careful with it as far as potency goes, but has a lot of uses. So, and it's very affordable. I think they were like 15 a gram, which isn't bad. Comes in a little syringe. Um, Pretty neat. So yes, Higher Love is awesome. There's a
Badass.
lot of other good shops as well, but obviously that's going to be with what they, especially with what they do for us. I love those folks. It's very
Yeah,
neat that they,
yeah, absolutely.
and to be able to, like, I feel like a lot of times when you look at like a sponsorship or something, there'd be like a lot of stipulations, like, oh, we got to be able to do, you got to say, we got to run by what you're going to say or whatever. Like,
Yeah,
it's just really neat how they are a part of this, but in like a you do you, Bobby Beans kind of way, which means a lot to me. So, um,
the
very
faith
neat.
they put in us, huh?
Yeah, right. Well, they're smoking that good. Oh God. But I'm not gonna lie, I'm getting a little tired, man. It's Friday and it's almost 8:30, and I'm not in bed. This is
For real. And the week
no.
that it's been, oh,
I felt that. I'll be honest. So no, I'm more like a 9 o'clock bed guy. What is everyone else here? What time's everyone getting into bed? Is this the old people crowd? Is that how we
old
roll?
people. Definitely
Yeah.
no old people here.
I feel like
With
if it's after 9, then I'm not gonna be in bed for a long time because then I'm too tired to want to get up. So then I watch something, and then next thing you know, I wake up like, oh shit, I got to get in bed.
right.
Jennifer is a 10 p.m.er. I respect that. Not to, you're little on the edge here as far as living it up, but not too
In
late.
fairness, I was a night owl. And when you start like working in schools and stuff, you become a day person real quick.
Well, yeah, I suppose because your days start at 7 a.m. Or what time do you get in?
Well, I'm up by 5:30 so that I can, get myself ready, get the kids ready, the other kids ready and stuff. And then I don't have to be to school until 7:45, but I'm obviously there sooner because I guess stuff to set up, things to get ready, different things like that. So, and even like when my day is done, like, yeah, I come home and I let loose, but like, I'm still figuring out, like, okay, so this is how today went. I do process those things. Like, how can we change this for tomorrow? And honestly, sometimes there's no answer, especially like with the population I work with. And
Sure.
that's what makes my love of my job so great, is the population I work with.
That's awesome. That's really cool. Because we need to, it's just always neat, kind of like we were talking about this group. It's neat to see the different perspectives, see the different upbringings,
Without
and
a
to
doubt.
be able to, I don't think there's any situation which would be too easy because if everyone was the same, but as far as like just the diversity, I love diversity because I just get bored and I want to learn more. I want to be in situations where I got to ask for help or assistance, something I'm not used to doing,
Right, right.
because that's the only way we continue to grow. So definitely felt that. But
Well, and it's humbling. It's humbling to be with people who you don't have to have, like, my way is the only way. Like, everybody has got their perspective and everybody is so, yep, that's great. And they're working for the same thing, eventually down that same path.
exactly, I felt that. But I think we should let everyone get on with their Friday. Really appreciate you guys stopping out. Shannon, really appreciate you hopping on and sharing with
Absolutely.
you another unique perspective and a story of overcoming.
And I want to say to the other teachers that are out there that I get it, hiding, having to stay in that shadow. You're not alone. We're all here. Should I be vocal about it? Maybe not, but I need to be because it's helping. It really is. It helps my kid. I did lose a cousin to a heroin overdose, and I feel like if things would have been different then, maybe we wouldn't have lost him. Um, I look at all those things. So those teachers that are in the teaching world already, that are coming up into the teaching world, don't be afraid of it. We're going to embrace this.
Sure, I love that. That's unity. That's what
Absolutely.
it's all about. Danny, thanks for stopping by. You have a great night as well. Everybody, just a reminder: consume responsibly. Know who you're buying from. Know where your stuff's coming from. Again, we know most towns are now decriminalized, but be careful when you're transporting. And I would like to ask everybody that's listening to do one thing, and that is to get out of your comfort zone just a little bit over the next week and reach out to somebody. You don't have to walk up to somebody, because in most cases I would think it'd be somebody you know, but just somebody who you know that isn't a fan of cannabis. I want you to test yourself to see if you can just help start educating them on some of the things about it, because I feel like a lot of times people are against it and they haven't taken the time to listen because they get attacked, or it's like, hey, you're stupid for not believing it. I mean, you see what Facebook is
Yep.
like these days
For real.
on some posts and stuff, but just this is how it starts. It's one person at a time. Look how far we've come, and we're not going to stop. So just push yourself a little bit. Try to get to somebody who you know isn't a fan of it, and just let's work on slowly converting them. And
Absolutely.
again, when we're sharing education that supports it, that's really what we're doing, because there's so much of it out there. So, but appreciate everyone's time. Appreciate everybody's time. It is time for me to go. All right. Everybody have a good night. Thanks again, Shannon.
Yeah,
I love
absolutely.
all
Thank you,
guys.
everybody. Hopefully to
And
see
take
everybody
care.
next Friday.
Yeah, Lebowski Fest. Can't wait. Get your tickets today for $5. Promo code
Yep.
Higher Love.
Get it.
All right. Good night, guys.
Night, guys.